Since May 22nd, the Japanese Nikkei 225 has plunged precipitously after a 9-month rally that saw its value increase by 75%. Market analyst Peter Schiff points out that the behavior of the Nikkei over the past year offers an uncanny repeat of the Nasdaq in 2000, when the dot-com bubble burst. Schiff predicts that the inflationary policy promoted by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has led to a dramatic and potentially disastrous devaluation of the yen, which has caused yields of Japanese government bonds nearly to triple to almost 100 basis points on 10-year debt. As a result, Schiff concludes the grim reality of the yen collapse seems to have hit Japanese stock investors with a panic unseen since Mechagodzilla took aim at Tokyo.
Andrew Kane, a 19-year-old resident of Pullman, Washington, committed suicide on June the 23rd. The coroner for Whitman County, Washington, reports that the teenager suffered from depression. He may have been driven to suicidal despair by a sarcastic and humiliating Facebook message. If this is the case, the author of that message might be liable to criminal prosecution under the Idaho anti-cyberbullying law. However, prosecution might be difficult because the message was posted on the Facebook page of the Latah, Idaho County Sheriff's Office, which described Andrew Kane as the wanted person of the month for June. Kane, who lived across the border in Washington, was the subject of warrants for a traffic infraction and possession of a controlled substance. Sheriff Wayne Roush has had the posting removed from the department's Facebook page.
A report produced by the Houston field office of the FBI described an alleged plot in fall 2011 to engage in sniper attacks against Occupy movement protesters, if deemed necessary. The report described how the organization, which was not named or described, planned to gather intelligence against the leaders of the protest groups, then formulate a plan to kill the leadership via suppressed sniper rifles. The Bureau did not say if the group planning the attack was a private security company, a law enforcement agency, or a branch of the military, nor is there any record that it warned either the would-be victims or local police about the threat.
Sigurdur Thordarson, who worked as a volunteer for the WikiLeaks Media Transparency Ground, was a paid informant for the FBI. After walking into the U.S. Embassy in Reykjavik, Iceland in August 2011, reports Wired News, the then 18-year-old Thordarson spent 3 months gathering information within WikiLeaks on behalf of the Bureau, receiving $5,000 and being flown to Washington for a debriefing. Thordarson joined the organization in 2010, and after a subsequent staff upheaval, he was appointed the moderator of the group's chat room. He turned over to the FBI at least 8 hard drives containing information on WikiLeaks before being fired over suspected embezzlement in November 2011.
Under the Obamacare program, businesses that employ more than 50 workers will be subject to fines of $3,000 an employee if the company fails to provide them with a qualifying health insurance plan. The proposed immigration reform bill would allow illegal immigrants currently in the country to become registered provision immigrants. The Washington Examiner points out that these newly legalized immigrants wouldn't become eligible for subsidized health care through the Federal Insurance Exchange until after they become citizens. This would create an incentive for companies to give preferential treatment to newly legalized immigrants when hiring new employees.